What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 11 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild, the YouTube... Hold on, I had it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 11 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild, the Patreon-funded YouTube motorcycle build series where we buy motorcycles, build them up, and then give them away to the people that support this show. I am Chaseontwowheels. The guy behind me is Luke. He's typically behind the camera, so get me in front of the camera. Today is a special episode. It is going to last over the next 5-ish days. Brian is bringing our special guest. You guys will meet him in a second. We are bringing him in to paint our stuff for this bike. Painting takes a long time. He is an absolute professional, and we're going to take you guys through the entire process of a professional painter painting in a very non-professional garage. I don't know how the next couple of days are going to go. I am very excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. Make sure to hit that like button for us flying in the painter. But right now, me and Luke gotta sand the gas tank because we were supposed to do that 2 or 3 days ago and we didn't. So there's that. Okay, let's get it. Also, the audio is going to be weird because we're not doing the regular, all right, stuff's happening later. I forgot to say, Patreon link, top link, if you want to find out how we get to do all this stuff and if you want to win the bike, because we literally give okay. So guys, this is our special guest, LJ. LJ is a friend of Brian's from...
New Jersey.
So LJ, we have brought you down to do all the paint work. Actually, the paint work's already done. You guys just can't see it. So it's already happened, but we're gonna take you through the entire process. Yeah. So, what do you do? What qualifies you to be here doing this stuff?
To be here doing this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I've been doing custom paint work for about 15 to 20 years. I convinced my buddy Brian years ago that I was really good at it, and I got better as I went along. So
I do the same thing with Brian every episode.
You have to. Yeah.
I take that back. I try to do that with Brian, but he cuts straight through my bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like a hot blade through butter.
Right. Yeah. See, I was able to surpass all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're a lucky man. Okay, so so you're in New Jersey. You do you do that full time as your job, or what's the whole situation with what do you paint? How often do you paint?
Okay. No, I do have a day job.
Okay.
Regular 9 to 5. I work on just repairing cars. Your basic.
So you're still in the same industry.
I'm still in the same industry. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So at night, this has been the last 2 years that I opened up my own shop. Jefekustomkolor.
Okay.
It's Yeah, no, but at my shop, all I do is strictly custom paint work. Motorcycles, cars, guitars, refrigerators, pretty much anything that I can paint and make cool, I will.
Dang it,
yeah.
we missed the opportunity with the shop fridge. Okay, maybe next time. Okay, so you've been painting for a while. Yep. You know what you're doing. I've seen his Instagram. It looks solid. All of your information is going to be down in the description.
Down here?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you pointed at the right spot. Okay, so we've gone through the entire process. You are a professional in the industry. Take us through the process of you traveled here, so
right.
Typically you work out of the shop.
Yeah.
So you had to do your little travel situation.
Yeah.
So is that harder for you, or is it not that big of a deal? Was it what did you find this process to be like?
It wasn't too much different. It was just a little bit different having to ship all my products down and stuff like that. Because normally everything is in-house.
Yeah.
So I just have to walk across the room to grab everything.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, actually everything here was pretty much easy. You had a table I was able to work off of and everything.
Yep.
The only thing that was different that I normally do at my shop than here, because we were on a limited time frame, was I didn't strip the tank down to bare metal.
Okay.
Which is something I normally do because I don't trust other paint, like stock paint.
Gotcha.
You don't. It's been weathered. It's been beat up. Who knows if it's been painted before? It usually, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes it will affect the new paint.
Gotcha.
Because it's underneath.
By the way, so guys, we had LJ come down. We flew him down for, what is it, 4 or 5 days?
4 days, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, we were working on a super tight deadline to get this all done. So like, whenever you guys see the tank, it's, well, some of you will skip ahead because you're bastards, but like the rest of you guys, like that watch through it, like it is, anyway. Okay, so we had this crappy tank and crappy paint job. We had a bare fender though.
Yep.
So from the get-go, what's the process of, you know, getting to that final paint job? What's step one?
Okay, well,
that you started with?
First thing is obviously if there's any imperfections in the paint or the body, to fix it, dents, scratches, you know, so on and so forth.
We had how would you judge the tank that we had? It wasn't bad, right?
No, it only had a couple of dings in it. It wasn't really, I definitely fixed worse.
How do you fix Bodywork? Like what do you do?
Okay, well, depending on the dents, like these ones were very small, so I was able to just use body filler and fill them and straighten them out.
Right.
So then we stripped them, we sanded it all down. I primed the tank and the fender and the little body panels, and that's your base. That's what it seals all the other stuff in. Okay, so after it's primed and set up, and then you would sand the primer so you have something for the product to stick to, the paint, you know, what have you.
So just like roughing the surface up?
Yeah,
okay.
Which normally for like just regular paint, I would normally sand it with 320 to 600 because you want it smooth. But in this case, shot metal flake. And metal flake, little pieces of metal that are different colors, and it makes everything awesome. So with that, I had to scuff it. It had to be sanded with something heavier so that the product would stick to it. So I sanded it with 180. We put some blue down as a base, and then I dumped a bunch of blue metal flake on top of that.
So when Brian was telling me about LJ, he told me that LJ's signature thing is metal flake, and you got a special, is it custom metal flake for this job?
It was custom cut for this job. Normally, Blake, who I get my flake from, Blake's Flakes, I asked him if he could cut me a certain size because I was under the gun, and normally bigger flake takes a little bit longer because I have to put more product on it to cover it.
Okay.
So he actually cut me 2 different sizes, very small, because I wanted depth to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I normally do. I'll usually take 2 different size flakes and mix them together.
Gotcha.
And then spray them on. And then the phone rings.
Boom.
Everybody loves me, what can I say?
He's a busy man.
I am a busy man, yeah, I gotta paint stuff. So yeah, Blake was nice enough to cut me 2 different sizes of flakes specifically for this gig.
And they are, the flakes were matched to the blue that we got on the...
I can't talk right now, I'm on camera.
That was the best possible outcome. Hey, I'm on camera. All right.
Okay, so
but yeah,
where were
so the wheels we got.
Yep.
We got the Patreon people voted on a Ford dark blue.
Right.
And we were able to just send you a little metal swatch of the Ford dark blue to get all of the colors matched up and everything.
Right.
Which was, you can explain the matching of the color of the thing?
How I did it?
Yeah.
Okay. My paint system has a camera, and I can literally take a picture of any color with this special camera.
Yeah.
I plug it into my mixing computer, and it gives me a mix.
We've got blue metal flake from Blake's Flake. You'd think I would.
It's right.
Man, you are Brian's friend, aren't you? Goodness. Okay, so you sprayed both the fender, the two side panels, and the tank with flake first.
Well, no, I sprayed the blue first, and then the flake went on top of that.
Okay, gotcha. So is that always how you do metal flake specifically? Because like I would have thought the flake would have been like the last thing you put on.
No, with you always want to shoot the flake first because it's so thick.
Okay.
So if you shot it afterwards and you taped off graphics and stuff like that, your graphics would be here, and the amount of flake on the product would be here.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, because so the final product, you want to be able to run your finger along
and not feel the line, right?
Gotcha. Okay. Next step.
We let it sit, obviously 24 hours. Normally I let it sit for a little bit longer, but once again, under a time frame. That's why I bought special clear that dries really fast.
Okay, gotcha. So you bought specific things because you knew you were going to be on a time crunch, you weren't going to be in ideal conditions, so like you were able to get specific items that like work for this specific job. Okay, gotcha. So it's prime now. We got the flake down. So now is that when we started doing the graphics for everything?
No, we sprayed the clear. The next day we came back, sanded everything with 1000 grit.
Okay.
Make it nice and smooth and enough texture that the next load of paint will stick.
Okay.
So after we sanded it, then we came up with the idea for the graphics.
Yeah, that took, I don't think we recorded much of that situation, but like we kind of had graphics ideas. You guys will see them in a second, but I think what we ended up with was like this kind of middle ground between where I started, because I was like, I want to do these like racing stripe situation. And my original idea, I was like, all right, cool, you're gonna spray metal flake and then we're gonna cover like 95% of it. And then what happened was after you sprayed and did the flake stuff, I was like, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, so we basically took the original little like race stripey thing and flipped it upside down. It was like, I wanted you to paint the whole thing like a regular blue and have like flake just kind of like
like a pinstriping,
yeah. And then after a very quick call with Brian, and it was like, hey, so do you realize like how big of a deal that is? And I'm like, no, but I know it looks really good. So should we switch shit up? Also, one of the days, the day you were doing all the graphic stuff, Heather and I had to go out of town for a wedding. So like Luke was here filming everything, and I don't know, just explain that whole situation, like how to do the graphic things, because I wasn't even here for it, so I truly don't even know what happened on Saturday. So how did that day even start? And
oh, well, we got here, we sanded everything down and started taping it off graphics, because we had spoke about the images, and we
sent some like little
I sent you a couple of pictures, drawings, just to make sure everything was going to be cool.
Yep.
Came in, and the first thing we did, because we used a white, we used the original blue from the Ford blue that's underneath the metal flake, and a white. So the first thing was we masked off, I started masking off the stripes, but only masking off the white.
Okay.
So we masked off the white on the tank, masked off the white on the fender, and I'm not even gonna let them see the fender, because the fender's really awesome. I mean, the tank is awesome too.
Yeah.
Because we had a little, that.
No, you guys will see the footage, but
Yeah.
like, how did you make the circle on the fender?
It's always about the circle. Like, how do you how do you tape out a circle?
I want to tell you guys, I left on Friday night, like everybody, went home or whatever, and we had come up with a design.
Yeah.
At that point. It was like, all right, tomorrow is like execution day, and LJ was like, hey, let's have this cool, what's the design for the little Defender thing?
I call it a number plate.
Number plate, yeah. So he was like, there's this cool like number plate thing, and we looked up some ideas like from other bikes. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And he was like, yeah, we'll wrap it in a circle. And I'm like, cool. How are you gonna make a circle? Because like, you guys will see the footage, but like, you're just like wrapping tape.
Yeah, fine line tape.
Is nobody else? How did you make a circle on a curved, multiple direction object?
I made a template. I made a circle template, and I laid it on the fender, which wasn't easy because I've got a radius, so it doesn't fit perfectly. Yeah. So I drew myself a basic idea of what it looked like. And well, you know what a circle is.
You must be like a tape, like samurai.
I'm pretty good. There are many people that are better than me.
Well,
I've watched people just blow my mind when they pull tape lines.
Well, you've got this little like tape that's like a tenth of the size of my fingernail.
Right.
Like, is that the tape you always use for like stuff or?
Yeah, that's it's fine line tape. So what we used on this was 1/4 inch tape. So I masked it off. We sprayed the white with the number plate and everything. We let it set up, and then I masked it off again for the blue.
Oh, so you had to like spray all the white down, then obviously like peel the things up, or did you?
Oh no, you leave it because we weren't stepping away at all.
Right. So then the white had to totally dry.
Right.
And then you just put big old tape pieces down where you wanted to keep the white?
Yeah, pretty much just masked off what I wanted to stay white.
Right.
Then I shot the blue. You know what? As long as I've been doing this,
yeah,
I'll never show it.
Yeah.
But there's that little dude in the back of my head that goes, don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up.
Because at that point, if you pulled wrong or it like came back down on it, like that's a bad day, right?
Oh, it's a horrible day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did any of that happen?
No, didn't have any of that.
Okay. How do you get the decal up without, or is the paint dry? Like, because I'm imagining if I had to get a decal up and there's like wet paint around it, like how do you do that?
Well, I never pull the decal like the way we did for the negative image. I always wait till the paint's dry.
Okay, gotcha. So but how do you get underneath the paint to?
I use a razor blade, but before I put it down, because we use vinyl, and that's once you put it down, normally, I mean, you see, you put it on cars, you put it on anything.
Yeah,
it's there. What I do is I take the image, and when I'm wearing a shirt, which most of the time I am, I just stick it to my shirt.
You don't just paint with no shirts on, you're like, I'm a man painter.
No. When I stick it to my shirt, just like any other like tape or stickers or whatever, it pulls the fibers. So this way it is not as sticky as it is normally.
Oh, so before you put the decal on, you did that.
Yeah.
That in my head
glue
is
will
what
be
you
stuck.
were doing.
Yeah.
Was you were like just meticulously with a little.
Oh, believe me, it didn't just pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to
like this. Yeah. Luke got the footage of me like, damn it, damn it, damn it. All right, I'm just moving to a different side. I'll get back to that one.
You start peeling all the tape up.
Right.
What do you do now?
Okay, so that means after I pull the tape up, that means the image is done. Okay. In this case, the image was done.
Right.
So everything's bare, the tank is sanded, it's flat, it looks weird because you're like, oh, well, how's it gonna shine again?
Yeah.
And then after that, we just mix up some clear and just keep coating it. I did, when I first did the flake, before anything else, it was 3 or 4 coats of clear.
Just on the powder.
Just on top of the flake, yeah. Gotcha. And then after it was sanded, we did the graphics. I think I did another 4 coats of clear on top of that.
Okay, what did y'all, because I saw like a paint booth situation that y'all had rigged up, like, what did y'all end that night with? Blake's Flakes! Yes!
Blake's Flakes is calling me. Blake, what's up, man? Okay, so apparently Blake is very stoked about the fact that everything got done, but he's like, you guys are assholes for not taking me to varsity.
Your stomach will thank us later.
He said my stomach will thank us later.
There's a shitty cafeteria down the road we can take you to, though.
All right, brother, later.
I'm gonna tell you right now, do not go to the varsity. The food is bad.
Okay.
Yeah, the burger you got the other day was phenomenal.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
Any sort of cafeteria bullshit.
Right. Sorry, Blake. I got it. Local.
No, go to the varsity. Just don't do it right before you get on a plane, because you do not want to be.
Is it like going to Crystal's? Like I'll go to Crystal's, have like some of those steamed burgers, and then I won't even make it.
Crystal's is delicious. Out of the garage.
The garage? Is that part of the bylaws?
Zinger. That's a conversation for another day. Okay, so Saturday night in the paint booth situation.
Yes.
By the way, props in the comments to Luke for creating a paint booth.
Luke is a mad scientist genius, and somehow physics run through his body. Because I have never ever made a plastic booth before where I was not covered in overspray.
Yeah.
And
well, drop a like in the video for Luke's
absolutely
booth, physics mastery.
And he's a magician too.
Absolutely.
Because it's like I need something, and Luke is here.
Exactly. Absolutely. You could not have pinpointed Luke's position here better than physics mastery along with wizardry. Okay, so Saturday night. What did you guys end with on Saturday night with the paint booth situation? That was after you got the blue and the white graphics on, and that's where the night ended?
Yeah, no, we got the blue and the graphics on, and then we cleared.
Okay, so Sunday morning, you added how many coats of clear did you put on the?
On the tank? Yeah. I did 4 coats of clear on the tank because I had 4 coats of clear on the fender and the other pieces. Okay. So I wanted to match the amount of clear.
So with clear, is it like spray it on, let it dry, spray it on again, or do you have to sand it in between that?
No, because it doesn't set up that fast. So it's normally with something like this with graphics and everything else, I'll do a coat, wait a couple of minutes, do another coat, wait a couple of minutes, do another coat, and I'm constantly checking see how tacky it is. There's usually a spot on the tank that I'll tap with my finger, and if it's stringy, when I put my hand up, I leave it alone. But when I can tap it and it makes an imprint, then I'll clear it again.
Oh, okay, I see.
bug on the tank.
I can do that. And that's what you get. Yep, try to clean it off. Good luck with that.
After the 4 coats of clear, what's the next step to go to from there?
After that is wait for it to dry. And then once again, it's sanding.
Okay, so you actually sand the clear
Yes.
once you get done. Okay. So what type of sanding situation, like grits and stuff, do you do after all the clear is set?
All right, so this is the final sand. So you want it to be, with graphics, the way I do it, I don't want you to feel any of the image.
Like if a blind man.
If a blind man put his hand across it, he would just be like, wow, this is really smooth.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I take steps. I cut it with, I start wet sanding with 1,000, which
so it's wet sanding now instead of?
with dry sanding instead of dry sanding. So wet sanding, I start with 1,000 and that cuts everything down to where it's smooth.
Okay.
It gets little pieces of dirt out, little imperfections, stuff like that. Nothing ever comes out perfect the first time.
Yeah. I remember a bug.
Oh, the bee that I melted, that I got angry with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Final clear, little bee decided to land in my clear coat and I am not having that. And so he learned.
So what was the first size wet sanding?
1,000 grit.
Okay, so
and
where do you go from there?
that knocks it all down. That gets it nice and smooth. That gets rid of, it's heavy enough that I can flatten everything out.
Okay.
Then I use 1,500. And then after that, it's 2,000 grit, and after that, it's 3,000 grit.
So each of these, you're going over the entire tank.
The entire tank. Pretty much, the 1,000 grit does all the work that I need. The 1,500, the 2,000, the 25, the 3,000, that is just to get the scratches out from the last.
Oh, okay.
So it's easier to polish.
And like, is there like are you just feeling it and you have a good feel for it? Or like, what do you look for to know where, like, do you need to go another step farther? Like, what are you looking for?
I mean, after the 1,000, you can actually feel it. When you're sanding it, you can feel the clear coat getting smoother.
Gotcha.
So every time you make a step, and actually when you wipe it off, you can actually see it get lighter and lighter and lighter. Because when you scuff things, it gets, it'll be really hazy. And as 1,000 is, 1,500 is a little bit easier. So you're almost polishing it with the sandpaper.
Oh, okay. So what did you go to with this tank?
I went to 25 because I forgot to bring 3,000 with me.
So typically you would go to 3,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so once all the sanding is done, the tank is really rough at that point?
No, it's smooth. It's just hazy because it's sanded.
Okay, so then what's the next step to dehaze the tank?
Well, compound. It would be to buff it out. It would be to
Space
or
mayo.
polish.
Is that space mayo?
That was the space mayo.
Space
Yeah,
mayo
that's what I use
Okay.
for compounding now. We found a new product. Actually, we invented it. It's space mayo. It's the best stuff on the earth. It'll be coming to you soon.
And if you can't get space mayo, what's the earthly version of space mayo?
Polishing compound.
Good to go after that? Or
Yeah, well, it leaves a little haze, so after it's nice and shiny, you just take your terry cloth rag and you wipe off the excess, and
you're good to go.
And you're good to go. I mean, you always go back over it and see if there's any spots you missed and stuff like that, but and then wax it. Like I told you guys, like I'm not gonna wax it here because you're gonna get fingerprints all over it.
Right.
So
waxing, it'll be like that final.
Yeah, once the bite's all together.
Yeah. So we
Give
make
it
a note. YouTube, make a note that we would have to wax it later down the road. Hopefully.
Call me. Let me know if he doesn't do it.
You also did a final step on the under part.
We'll say the undercarriage.
Undercarriage.
It sounds
I was
professional.
gonna say undercarriage, but I thought that would be incorrect.
No, go with it. I mean, I might be incorrect, but who cares?
Yeah, well, so you did a final thing on the undercarriage.
Yes.
Explain the undercarriage work.
Oh, the guy in the can actually sprayed itself. We just masked it off, and it's pretty much just rubberized undercoat.
Okay.
And it makes everything nice and even. I've sprayed it underneath the fender, so instead of using paint, because paint chips with rocks and stuff like that, it's something I always do. I don't know what other painters do. Yeah. It's just something I do.
And that brings us to the end of the entire painting process of that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the job?
I think it came out great.
I do too. Yeah. You think it was a pretty easy job compared to what you're used to doing?
Yeah, well, this was just racing stripes. I'm used to doing multiple colors, multiple shapes, and...
Would it be cool if in this video I posted photos of what you've some cool jobs you've done?
Absolutely.
Because you've we had come up with a design, and then you were scrolling through your Instagram,
right.
And I was like, oh, sweet. So you're just gonna do racing stripes over here? Because what did you make, a coffin tank?
Oh, the coffin tank with the wood grain.
Okay, so LJ,
yes.
Thank you so much for coming out and painting our awesome freaking bobber.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate you having me out. It's been great.
So if people are watching this video and they're saying to themselves, I'm in New Jersey, or do you do motorcycles and cars?
Like I said, I don't want to limit myself to things with motorcycles and cars.
Gotcha.
I literally will paint anything.
Okay, so if somebody is in the area or in the need of painting work, how would one person, if they were too lazy to look in the description, how would they contact you?
You can contact me through my Instagram,
okay.
jefekustomkolor, through my email, jefekustomkolor@gmail.com.
I like how you don't know what the end part is, Gmail probably.
Gmail, it's probably Gmail, yeah. It's free, right? That's because free is for me.
100%.
Yeah, at least for the point in time. And and I do have a phone number. It's my business number. I do not know it off the top of my head because I never have to call it. I just hand them my business card.
That is a very good point. Okay, and that is going to be the end of episode 11 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. And now we have painted stuff that will probably not get to be on this bike anymore for months and months and months. It will be able to sit beautifully in the garage somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So guys, let me know what you think about LJ's work down in the comments down below. And we will see you on the next one. Unfortunately, LJ has to leave.
Yep, I have to go back to Jersey.
We have enjoyed him this time. If you guys are interested in the build or you want to get the motorcycle when we are done with it, make sure to check that top link in the description. It will go to Patreon, which is how we fund this entire show and get people like LJ down here to do awesome work on the bike. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more content. And go check LJ out. He does really, really good work. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Later.
Take it easy.
Oh my God, Luke. We forgot to do B-roll of the finished bike. I can't believe we forgot that. We did B-roll for 4 days straight. If only there was a way that we could do it now. Outro crew, let us know in the comments if there's a way to